and we'll start from there.
Ready?
You know, I'm feeling really good about the race this weekend. I've gotten my time down, and it looks like the weather's gonna be good.
Yeah, it's supposed to be beautiful on Saturday. And you've been running really well. You've actually been pushing me.
If I do well this weekend, I'm actually thinking about starting to train for the marathon.
Hey, count me in for that. I've always wanted to train for a marathon, but I didn't want to put in all the work by myself. Besides, it'd be great to have a buddy to train with. By the way, how's work going? Not that bad, huh? Kelly! Kelly! Kelly, what's wrong? Are you okay? Kelly! Somebody help!
Every 90 seconds, another person dies from sudden cardiac arrest. But thanks to the quick actions of people like you, dedicated to learning how to save a life, Kelly will live to run again.
Let us through. Everybody step back, please. Scene is safe. We can take it from here, sir.
Boy, you guys gotta be quick.
Hey, can you hear me? Are you okay? He's not responding. He's not breathing normally, just gasping. Grab the AED. There's no pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Remember,
6,
push hard and fast.
9,
At least
10,
2 inches or 5 centimeters.
14,
His chest needs to completely recoil after each compression.
22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28.
Analyzing
Everybody clear?
heart rhythm. Do not touch the patient.
Let's switch now.
Shock needed. Charging. Stay clear.
AED
of
says shock
patient.
advised. Everybody
Press
clear?
the flashing button now. Shock delivered. Begin CPR.
1, 2,
Start
3,
with
4,
compressions.
5, 6, 7, 28, 21, 22, 23,
Analyzing
24,
heart rhythm.
25, 26,
Stay clear
27,
of
28.
patient.
Let's switch again.
Shock needed. Stay clear of patient. Charging. Press the
Everybody
flashing
clear?
button now. Shock delivered. Begin CPR.
1, 2, 3,
Start
4,
with
5,
compressions.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25,
Analyzing
26,
heart
27.
rhythm. Stay clear of patient.
Everybody clear? Let's switch.
No shock needed.
He's breathing, and it's normal. There's a pulse.
Let's get ready to transport.
I thought I was in great shape. I mean, here I am toying around with the idea of running a marathon, and the next thing I know, I'm in the back of an ambulance on my way to the hospital. I mean, how do you say thanks? Those people saved my life. There's no doubt about it. I am so grateful to those rescuers. They knew exactly what to do. Eddie said that they were there within minutes, and they performed like a well-oiled machine.
All right, that's it. We're going to leave now because that's all you need to know. We're all done.
What you've just seen is a textbook rescue, performed by a well-trained professional team. Today, you're going to learn to react and perform at the same level. On any given day, you could come across a victim of cardiac arrest, where your actions and training can determine the outcome. Beginning with the scenario you just witnessed, you're going to learn basic life support, or BLS, for healthcare providers. You'll learn how to initiate the chain of survival, recognizing cardiac arrest and activating the emergency response system, perform 1 and 2 rescuer adult CPR with breathing devices, and use an AED. Later, you will learn how to perform child CPR, infant CPR, and how to assist a person who is choking. The AHA has adopted, supported, and helped develop the concept of emergency cardiovascular care systems for many years. The term chain of survival provides a useful metaphor for elements of the ECC systems concept. The 5 links in the adult chain of survival are immediate recognition of cardiac arrest and activation of the emergency response system, early CPR with an emphasis on chest compressions, rapid defibrillation, effective advanced life support, and integrated post-cardiac arrest care.
Okay, before I lose you, because I know that's a lot of video already, this cardiac chain or survival is just a helpful thing to let us know that if I don't call 911, the ambulance doesn't get there, okay? So in order for someone to have the best chance at surviving, meaning that they get to go home, they have to meet all these steps. Someone has to call 911. If someone doesn't start CPR in the first 4 minutes, they're going to be brain dead. So it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what we bring on the ambulance. They're not going to be neurologically intact. And that's just a really cool word, meaning that they can go home normal. Okay? This center link is the shocky thing. That's the AED. That's a cool thing that you see on TV all the time, that people get shocked. Well, you get to use that, and they're everywhere. And it's really fun to use. It's probably one of my favorite things to do on the field. My favorite thing to do. Okay? Shocking! Yes! Okay, and then hopefully the ambulance gets there in a certain amount of time. Okay, in a quick amount of time. If you're out in the boondocks, then you have to wait a long time. You're going to be doing CPR for a long time. Now, I don't want to like, go against everything I'm going to say in this class, but CPR buys time. It's only buying time. It's buying time until that shocky thing gets there. That's the only two things that have actually been proven to save a life. Good CPR and the shocky thing. So, Dean, why did we go to paramedic school, man?
Honestly, I don't know. It was expensive. It was a long time.
Really expensive. I don't know why we do this stuff, but anyway.
I feel like we should.
This is the ALS provider. This is like the ambulance. This is your doctor and all the the post-hospital care. That last link is your doctors, your nurses. They cool the body down and they hopefully freeze the brain enough to like get the so this crazy stuff. But anyways, moving on.
The 5 links in the pediatric chain of survival are prevention of arrest, early high-quality bystander CPR, rapid activation of the EMS or other emergency response system, effective advanced life support, and integrated post-cardiac arrest care. But the most important link in the chain of survival is you.
Didn't that sound good? Didn't you chills?
The 2010 AHA guidelines for CPR and ECC recommendations for healthcare providers include the following key changes and issues. Changes in BL.
Okay, we're going to skip that part because you don't need to know that. Basically, there's a huge change in
High-quality CPR improves the victim's chances of survival.
I'll give you the abridged version by Shane. Okay, in 2015, every 5 years, this group of people called ECC gets together and they change CPR. So this year is actually the new year. So after this class, you will receive a new material guideline telling you that CPR has changed. Okay? So the new changes that have happened in 2015, they've been updated for this year, 2016. Okay? But in 2010, they had all these crazy changes in CPR. Like people were like wondering, why do we need to do 30 to 2 and all this other good stuff? Well, CPR, when it comes to compressions, is the most important thing. So if you leave my class, this class here together, if you forget everything except for one thing, and that is to start compressions, then we've done your job, okay? Or we've done good for that future victim that you may have. Compressions is what's going to save someone's life. So you have to be very good at doing those compressions. It may seem simple, but that's how simple CPR is. It's not hard. We just make it challenging.
There are several critical elements of high-quality CPR you should remember. Start compressions within 10 seconds of recognition of cardiac arrest. Push hard, push fast. Provide compressions at a rate of at least 100 compressions per minute and at a depth of at least 2 inches or 5 centimeters for adults.
How many compressions per minute?
Allow complete chest recoil after each compression.
Recoil.
Minimize
Remember,
interruptions.
recoil.
Try to limit interruptions in compressions to less than 10 seconds. Give effective breaths that make
All
the
these are
chest
all these
rise.
are test questions.
Avoid
So,
excessive ventilation.
There's no pulse. 1, 2, 3.
CPR begins with compressions. Because compressions are so important to a victim's survival, they need to be started immediately, within 10 seconds of recognition of cardiac arrest. Early CPR keeps the oxygen and blood flowing to the heart and brain, creating valuable life-saving time until spontaneous circulation is restored.
1, 2, 3.
To be most effective, CPR should be performed as a team with rescuers completing many tasks simultaneously. However, in order to be an effective team member, you need to master the individual skills of one rescuer CPR.
Let's switch now.
For this training, we will isolate the individual skills rescuers perform and then put them together, so you'll be prepared to deliver high-quality CPR and use an AED as a team.
Coming through. Stand back, please. Scene is safe.
The first step of BLS is assessment and scene safety. The first rescuer who arrives at the side of the victim must quickly be sure that the scene is safe. The rescuer should then assess the victim for a response and breathing.
Hey, are you okay? Can you hear me? He isn't responding. Isn't breathing normally, just gasping. Grab the AED.
If the rescuer is alone, he or she would then call for help and get the AED. The next step is to check for a pulse. To perform a pulse check in the adult, feel for a carotid
No
pulse.
pulse.
This technique is usually easier to perform on the side near the rescuer. Locate the trachea using 2 or 3 fingers. Slide these fingers into the groove between the trachea and the muscles at the side of the neck, where you can feel the carotid pulse. Perform the pulse check for at least 5 seconds and no more than 10 seconds.
3.
If you do not definitely feel a pulse, immediately begin CPR, starting with chest compressions, CAB sequence. Now we're going to learn how to do chest compressions. Just watch now. We'll practice momentarily. Position yourself at the victim's side and make sure that the victim is lying face up on a firm, flat surface. Quickly move or remove all clothing from the front of the chest. You will need to be able to see the chest and later attach an AED to bare skin. Put the heel of one hand on the center of the bare chest over the lower half of the breastbone. Then put the heel of your other hand on top of the first. Your shoulders should be right over your hands and your elbows should be straight. Push hard and fast. Press down at least 2 inches or 5 centimeters with each compression. This requires hard work. For each chest compression, make sure you push straight down on the victim's breastbone. Deliver compressions in a smooth fashion at a rate of at least 100 compressions per minute. At the end of each compression, make sure you allow the chest to recoil completely. Chest compression and chest recoil times should be approximately equal. Right now we're going to pause the video to allow you to get into position to practice with the mannequins and learn the skills of CPR.
All right, first things first. You and your partner decide who's rescuer 1 or rescuer 2. Rescuer 1 is going to be at the mannequin. Rescuer 2 is going to be on the outside. So go ahead and move now. What do you want to do? Please. Move. Go. Fast.
3, 2, 1.
Do you mind if I videotape you doing it?
Rescuer 1 is kneeling, facing me. Rescuer 2 is on the side, standing. Like you're out of the way. Like, get out of there. There you go. There you go. You're standing. You're away. Good. All right. You're going to watch your person, your partner. You're going to watch your partner to make sure they're doing it right. The instructors are also going to be watching. Okay? So you're watching your partner to make sure they're doing things right. You're being like a coach, too. These are the things that we're going to be concentrating on. All right. The first thing we're going to do is that as soon as you recognize that someone's in cardiac arrest, you have 10 seconds. You only have 10 seconds to start compressions. We're going to push hard and fast at least 100 beats per minute. Okay, you're going to stay with the video. You're going to push down at least 2 inches. Now, can anybody show me what 2 inches is with their hands? Okay, I don't know what it is on a real person. You're like, I don't even know what it is. But 2 inches is deep. Okay? You're going to push as hard as you can. As hard as you can. And it's all about positioning. It's all about positioning. And the video is going to show you how to do that. But before that happens, do me a favor, take off the mask that's on the chest. And the purpose of training, all the mannequins are facing one direction, meaning the head should be to your left, okay? Guess what? In real life, they're not always going to be that way. Sometimes you might have to be on the other side of the victim. But for training purposes, I just don't want to mess you guys up, because some people are like, no, I got to be on this side. No, okay? It can be either side. But for the purposes of training, the head's going to be on the left. We're going to make sure that we have complete chest recoil. What the heck does that mean?
Once you press down,
I'm sorry?
once you press down, let the chest come all the way back.
Yes! Excellent. Once you push all the way down, at least how many inches?
2.
How many inches?
2.
How many inches?
2.
Thank you. 2 inches down. You're going to come all the way up. All the way up to the chest has fully recoiled back to normal. Okay? If you don't do that, the heart cannot fill with blood. What are you really doing with CPR? What are you doing? What is the whole concept are we trying to do? Buy time, that's good. What are we doing though?
Continue blood flow.
To?
Continue blood flow to the heart.
To the, someone said it. Oxygen to the what?
Brain.
To the brain. To the brain. If we do not oxygenate the brain, we are going to die and not come back. I'm sorry. Does anybody know how long it takes for brain death to start to occur?
4 minutes.
4 minutes. Okay? That's not a lot of time. That's not a lot of time at all. You have to push hard. You have to push fast. You have to oxygenate the brain. In order to get the blood full of blood to push it towards the brain, you have to fully recoil. You have to minimize all interruptions no more than 10 seconds. So when we start getting ventilations in there and you start fiddling with the ventilation mask and everything, if it's over 10 seconds, forget about it. Go back to compressions. All right. And then when we give breaths, we're going to make sure we give full breaths that make the chest clearly rise, and then avoid excessive ventilations. I would remember all that because it's definitely going to be on your written exam on Thursday. I'm going to give you straight up what it is. You can't tell me I didn't tell you. Okay. Now, before I get started, the people that are on near the mannequin, I want your knees right in front of the chest. I want you lined up right in front of the chest. You're going to be bending at the hips, okay? At the hips. You're bending at the hips, not at the back. All right, you're going to make your arms really straight and strong as they can be. It doesn't matter which hand is on top, as long as you're comfortable. The center of your palm, or the palm of your hand right here, is going to go right in the center of the chest. Right in the center of the chest, in between the nipple lines. Yes, that person needs to be completely naked, meaning there's no shirt on. Okay? People are like, well, I don't want to see that. Who cares? They're dead. Okay? I don't care, they're dead. They don't care, they're dead. Okay? Modesty at this point is completely out the window. All right? I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. Deal with it. Okay. You're going to put your hand right in the center of the chest. You're going to lean forward. You're going to lean forward so that your shoulders are right over your wrist. Okay? Again, you're bending at the hips. You're going to push down really, really hard, at least 2 inches, at 100 beats per minute. There we go. During the video, it's going to give you 10 seconds to switch places.
Now that you're in position,
So make sure you guys do that in 10 seconds.
Follow along with video footage as you practice, and switch students on the mannequins when the video instructs you to. You're going to perform 5 sets of 30 compressions at the rate of at least 100 per minute.
I want you to
Counting
count out loud.
Counting out
Who are we
loud
missing?
helps you and other rescuers keep track of compressions. Are you ready? Here we go.
1, 2,
Count out loud.
5, 6, 7, 8.